Hey folks, welcome to this week's editions of Wild Kentuckiana Live. I'm your host, Tom Chamberlain, and I hope everybody had a very, very successful turkey season out there, and I hope everybody had a great Mother's Day, and we're glad to be back with you. We got a jam-packed show tonight. We're going to talk about scent control. We're going to talk about different properties across the state. We even brought in Sammy and Landon Bullock here to sing the theme song for Lights Out Live for you all, so I hope you all enjoy this. But before we get to all that, we're going to talk about a great sponsor we have in Knob Creek Gun Range. Knob Creek takes care of all your hunting, any type of firearm needs you have, from ammo to holsters to shotguns, rifles, pistols, ARs, any type of AR accessory. They have a full, complete gun range. They have 2 machine gun shoots a year. So make sure you go out there and see Kenny Sumner and the gang and tell them Lights Out sent them, and tell them Wild Kentuckiana Live sent you, and they'll really take good care of you. They're really good guys, and they'll do whatever they need to do to hook you up. So now we get that out of the way. How you doing, Landon?
Good.
Sammy, how you doing, bub?
Doing good, man.
Now, me and Sammy go way back. We've probably known each other since, what, middle school, I guess it is?
At least, yeah.
Yeah, so we've been friends for a long time, and Sammy always piddled around with guitar a little bit and always was a big hunter. His family's got some property out. Is it Nelson County?
Yeah.
Out in Nelson County.
Nelson County.
So he's always been around hunting and fishing and grew up a redneck like the rest of us, and he's teaching Landon here how to be a redneck, so that's going real well. And both of them are really pretty talented when it comes to songs and singing and playing. You're not playing yet, are you, Landon?
Nope.
Not yet. You just singing?
Mm-hmm.
Landon does a talent show every year at his elementary school, and he's the head of the party. Sammy comes in and plays for him, and Landon gets up on stage and sings around, so hopefully we can gear him up enough tonight to maybe sing a little tune or something. But Sammy, so what makes you love the outdoors as much as you do?
I was raised from an early age. My whole family's been into outdoors and fishing, hunting. Grew up on the lake, Green River.
Right.
And we just took it in. I mean, it's just in my blood, just like it is yours.
Now, y'all got a pretty good, nice little cabin out there in Nelson County, and y'all get down pretty good out there. You get the whole family together. And
yeah. We've got a big family. That's our home away from home.
Mm-hmm.
We get out there and we get away from the city, and we just love it.
Now, you were showing me some pictures of last year. You had some really nice deer on camera last year.
Yeah.
Was you able to close the deal on any of those?
Was not. I've been hunting the same deer for 3 years now, and he disappears. He goes underground whenever everybody gets out in the woods.
Right.
He's a smart deer. That's the way they get.
Yeah, that's how they get so big, and they become dominant bucks in their area because they have that knack for disappearing right at the time you're starting to hunt them pretty hard. But it won't be long here. June 1st, you'll be starting to put some corn out and some pictures out, and some guys are already running cameras. Some people have that addiction. They might need get some help on that. They like to run cameras year round, but I always try to wait till around June 1 when I can start throwing some corn out there.
Yep.
And after the state of Kentucky tells me I'm allowed to, and start getting some pictures, and hopefully by that time they've already branched out a little bit. Now, Landon, have you done much hunting yet? You're 7 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you got the chance to do much hunting yet?
Only squirrel hunting.
Okay, so did you like squirrel hunting?
Mm-hmm.
What did you like about it?
Shooting the gun and ranging it in.
Okay, so setting the gun in was fun. What kind of gun was you shooting? 22?
22 or 42.
22 probably?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 22. It won't be long, you'll be branching into deer hunting. You gonna try to get some deer hunting in this year?
Yeah.
What kind of gun do you think you'll be using for that?
Maybe same gun.
No, probably not. You might want to go a little bigger. I'd say you'll probably start out with maybe a 410 slug or maybe even a 20 gauge slug. Maybe a 243.
He's got a 243.
Yep, a 243 will knock them down. You're going to hang out there with Dad and Papaw and all them out in Nelson County and Like a pipe or something, aren't you? Mm-hmm. So how you feeling? Like pretty good? You nervous?
Kind of.
Well, why are you nervous for? Just a bunch of rednecks hanging out. That's what we do. What's your favorite part about the squirrel hunt besides shooting a gun? Did you able to shoot a squirrel this year?
Nope.
Did you take any shots?
Yeah, I think.
You did? Did you miss?
Yep.
What'd you do that for?
There wasn't no squirrels around.
So you just shooting up in the trees hoping something falls?
Yep.
I like your attitude.
I go, far away!
There you go. So Sammy, what age did you start hunting, and what age are you planning on getting Landon just fully engrossed into it?
I believe this year's going to be the year for deer hunting. I started hunting. Probably I didn't really get into it because football till probably in my early 20s.
Right.
And I just really wasn't into it. You know, I played football, started at 20-something years old, and my uncle gave me a slug gun to use. I went out there, didn't have any camouflage.
Right.
And I shot my first deer. I think I wounded it pretty good, and then finally put the kill on it.
Right.
And then after that, it was over with.
You was hooked.
That's right.
I can remember in high school, we'd go out behind Jeff Robart's place and do some squirrel hunting. Now it's all neighborhoods, of course, now like everything else. But we'd go out behind there and do squirrel hunting in high school. But I grew up hunting. Dad took me hunting since I was about Landon's age.
Yeah.
And I've been hooked for a long time, and I've got my son pretty tore up with it now too. So
Yeah.
until he starts getting into girls, and then it's
Yeah.
you don't got
You
time.
lose 'em.
You don't got time for dad and hunting when you got a girlfriend.
Yep.
You got a girlfriend yet, Landon?
Used to.
What happened to her? Just broke up?
Well, she dumped me.
Well, what'd she do that for? Don't she know who you are?
Yeah.
Man, boy, she might have found. Would she find somebody nicer than you? Was you mean to her?
No.
I didn't think you would be. You're not mean to nobody.
No.
You'll get another one. You'll get another one. It's just a matter of time. And I'm gonna tell you right now, they take all your money. They're expensive. So, Sammy, what are you looking forward to this year when it comes to season?
Oh, deer, whitetail's my favorite, man. Taking him out there, we go out, we check cameras, we put corn out. Just everything about whitetail hunting.
And I'm gonna tell you, when he's able to kill his first one, like Jacob was my son, me and my dad both were with him in a big box blind, and there was nothing like it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care if I ever kill a deer the rest of my life, the joy I had that day when he killed his first one. And he made a pretty good shot, about 120 yards with 243, and didn't realize at the time, but it ended up being a button bug. So he went back and told all his buddies at school, so now they call him Button, because he killed a button bug.
Yeah.
So, but it's a great feeling that you get as a parent to be able to see your son do that, and the tracking and teaching the field dressing and all the rituals that go with it.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna eat the deer heart?
What?
What?
Yeah.
Okay, you will. You ain't scared, are you? So, folks, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have Sammy perform the Lights Out theme song. Stay tuned. Hey folks, welcome back to Wild Kentuckiana Live. I'm your host, Tom Chamberlain. With me, I have Sammy and Landon Bullock here. Sammy's getting ready to perform our theme song for the TV show, and after high school, me and Sammy kind of lost contact for a while, like most people do, and I knew he was still writing and performing some and doing some local gigs around town, so I got with him, and he's an engineer for CSX?
Yeah.
So he was actually in Nashville. That's your run mostly down in Nashville.
That's right.
And so I hooked up with him and said, hey, man, can you come up with a theme song for us? And 2 days later, he sent this back to me and said, what do you want to change, or what do you want to do with it? And I said, I don't want to change nothing. I just want you to perform it so we can record it and put it on. It turned out perfect on the first run. Couldn't have been happier with it. I mean, everybody on the team was just very pleased with it. And I tell you what, every time I hear that song kick on now, boy, I get fired up. So, Sammy, it's all yours, brother. Let's do it.
All right, man.
Me too.
Get up before the sun comes up. Thank the good Lord, hop in my old pickup truck, chasing after that big old buck. Turkeys, tree rats, rabbits, and ducks. I'll grab my favorite old fishing pole, head down to that old honey hole, spending our days living off this land. The good Lord put it here with a touch of his hand, just begging to get back out in the wild some more. It's not a hobby, it's a way of life. Lights out outdoors. Lights out outdoors. Lights out outdoors. Teach our kids about our way of life. Teach them how to hunt fish, skin a deer with a buck knife. Everything we do out here is what we love. And remember, it all came from the man up above. Spending our days living off this land. Good Lord put it here with a touch of his hand, just begging to get back out in the wild some more. It's not a hobby, it's a way of life. Lights out outdoors. Lights out outdoors. Lights out outdoors. Well, lights out outdoors.
Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that.
No problem, man.
You know, for all the ones that got to listen to that, they can now understand why I didn't want you to touch it. You know, it's got a little bit of everything, you know, tree rats, rabbits, and ducks. So it's got a little bit of everything involved that we love to do.
Yeah.
You know, we don't really specialize in one particular hunting. We like to do it all. So that song was absolutely perfect for everything we do. And it's right. It's not a hobby. It is a way of life. You know,
right.
Some people, that's just their hobby. This is what I grew up doing, so this is a way of life for me.
Absolutely.
And it's a way of life for my son, and you know, hopefully his kids, you know, so pass it down. Landon, you up to sing one?
What?
You up to sing a song? No, not tonight? He didn't have enough lemon juice to get those vocal cords really riled up tonight. He's a little sore still, so he's probably still a little sad that his girlfriend dumped him, but he'll get over that. It happens, brother. It happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us. So it's just a few more months, and we'll be out there getting after those deer. So have you put any cameras out yet?
Not yet. I usually wait till probably end of May, early June, and me and him start going out, getting on a four-wheeler. We load it up and head on back to our spot there.
Well, I can tell you, I was out at our Dare County lease today, and make sure you're spraying down, folks, because the ticks are going to be bad this year. And we sprayed down really good, and still, when I got home, picked a few off, and I thought I sprayed down really good. But they're going to be bad out there this year. I think with this wetness we've had, it's just making them go crazy.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, the vegetation in the woods, we hadn't been out to this lease for probably 3 weeks, maybe a month, and then, of course, nothing had grown yet. Went out today. Man, it was green everywhere. It was a lot of underbrush. Rolled through a lot of stuff and collected a few ticks, so you got to be careful out there with that.
Absolutely.
Are you pumped up about this year? Mm-hmm. Hopefully you can get out there and get you on a nice deer this year. I know out there, y'all's farm, y'all got some nice deer out there.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to the most to hunt this year?
The whitetail?
Yeah, but what about it? Just you know you got to get up early, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's real early.
Like 4 in the morning.
Right, with no breakfast.
Aw.
Yeah, you have to get breakfast after the fact. And but when you get back, you can get Daddy will fix you up some groceries. He can cook it up.
That's right.
He's been in deer camp with us so many times, folks, and only reason we bring him is just because he cooks.
Yeah.
And boy, does he cook. So make sure you go to his Facebook page, man. Request to be a friend with him. And if you have any place you need, he does a lot of playing around town. So if you need a musician for any reason, whether it be a wedding, a graduation, if you own a restaurant or a bar, man, look him up. He'll be playing at my place, Lights Out Bar and Grill in Shepherdville. He'll come soon. And he's a heck of a musician. He'll take good care of you. He's really, really reasonable. And I've been booking talent for about 6 months now. And he don't cut me a deal even though we're friends. And he's still cheaper than the rest of them out there. So if you want a good musician that'll have a good time, and for an extra $1,000, he'll bring Landon with him.
Yeah. He's the one that requires the big money.
Right. So folks, stay tuned when we come back. We're going to have a great new sponsor for Lights Out Outdoors, L&M Custom Scents. You're going to love what they got. Stay tuned. Hey folks, welcome back to Wild Kentuckiana Live. I'm your host, Tom Chamberlain. And I hope you enjoyed that first segment because Landon, he's a cut-up, isn't he?
Yeah, he's carrying the Wildcat.
And you got one coming in, don't you?
July 18th, little girl.
Okay.
First, me and my wife.
Well, hopefully she's not going to be as wild as him. Folks, with us tonight here, we got Loyd and Michael from L&M Custom Scents. It's going to be really, really good. These folks here, they really got some great new products out here. Loyd, tell me a little bit about your products. What sets your products different than everybody else's?
Basically, Tom, like we used to getting tired of just buying over the market, everyday usage stuff. Mm-hmm. It didn't really smell like what you was buying.
Right.
And or what it's supposed to be anyway.
Right.
So what we did, we figured out how to make essential oils.
Okay.
And our oils and everything out of actual real ingredients like fresh dirt.
Okay.
Apples and acorns.
Okay.
Cedar trees, pine trees.
Now you have a complete line. Not only do you have the cover scents.
Right.
Now you don't have scent eliminators. Yes. This is but in your spray, in the field spray, is not an eliminator. It's a cover scent, correct?
No, we actually have.
You have both.
We have both. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's really good because, I have gone out and bought some products, and I'm not going to say what names they are.
Right.
Fresh dirt. Mm-hmm. I ain't never smelled dirt that like come out of that bottle. It wasn't dirt.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it wasn't fresh dirt. I can tell you that.
That was our big problem.
And and that stuff is not cheap.
No.
I mean, that stuff is expensive. And then you buy something and you realize it's not what I'm looking for. And then you have to go around and buy something else. Mm-hmm. So, and when it comes to deer hunting, folks, we all know that I don't care what you say or what your buddies say. Everybody uses everything on this table, whether it be soap, shampoo, conditioner, liquid hand soap, cover scents, eliminators, you're going to use them. These deer, their scents are just too far superior for us not to have something.
A deer has 227 scent receptacles. Mm-hmm. A human has 5 million.
Right.
A bloodhound only has 220.
Right.
So that tells you how much keen they are on scent.
And they are, and we've all, if you've deer hunted, you've been busted by a deer before
mm-hmm.
scent, no matter what it's from. Whether you just got off your four-wheeler and you still had that four-wheeler smell on you, or whatever the case may be, or if you're around deer camp and you had a little fire going and they smell a little, the ashes on you, mm-hmm. you're going to get busted. Yeah. And those smart deer, they know.
That's exactly right.
So you wanted to do this right here because you were tired like everybody else of buying, just like I am. Mm-hmm. And you come up with your own scents.
Yeah.
We really didn't intend on selling it. It
was
just, we made it for our personal use. We're avid deer hunters.
Sure.
Just like, everybody else,
mm-hmm.
Around here. And we started letting friends use it, mm-hmm. and then it was just such, they wanted more and everybody wanted it. We was like, well, here's our ticket. So,
it is.
And and not only from this, like he said, we've got a whole line,
mm-hmm.
Now it's soaps, laundry detergents, and it's just escalated from there.
Now, how long has this business been going now for y'all?
We're going on actually on our 3rd year, mm-hmm. Actually business-wise.
Right.
We've been making it about a year and a half before that.
For personal use.
For personal use.
Right.
You know, so it isn't something that's brand new. It's never been tested.
Right.
I mean,
so you field tested it. You know what's going on with it.
Right.
And folks, you know, if Lights Out Outdoors is going to put their name behind it, it's going to be a good product. We're not going to sponsor anything and put our name on anything that we don't trust and believe in. And these guys have went through extensive testing, extensive work, and your friends and family have been able to harvest some nice deer using your product.
Yes, they've heard.
It's just a satisfying feeling when you see
Yeah.
people send you pictures, you know, oh man, awesome job, harvest this buck, you know,
Right.
in Kansas.
Absolutely.
Oklahoma sending us pictures. I mean, it's something awesome.
Yeah.
Something, you know, we thought we were just going to make for us. And now people, you know, all over the United States.
Have you started thinking about putting it into a distributing factor as far as sporting goods stores and local gun shops around the, you know, different counties and co-ops and places like that?
We've started a few stores around the tri-state area, eastern Kentucky area.
Okay.
They've starting to do pretty good with it. You know, we're actually just during deer season.
Sure, sure.
But they're going to be carrying, I think about 6 different stores, 5 or 6.
Okay.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
And folks, this is just not for deer season. When you're going out and checking
No.
your cameras, when you're going out and doing all that stuff, you need to be spraying down properly, just like you were going in the woods to hunt. You know, you don't go in there just, you know, like you've just walked onto your property before. You take every precaution you possibly can, just like you were getting ready to get in that stand. When you dump that corn, when you put that salt mineral lick out, when you check that camera. And this is where it comes in important here, you know, you're still keeping your scent down, because those deer don't forget. They smell that scent, they know what's going on, and they're gonna, you know, sidetrack your cameras and everything else. So, you know, I'm really careful. I wear gloves when I go in. I spray down like I would be anytime, and I put gloves on. So when I check my cameras and dump my corn, put my salt out, you know, I'm trying to keep as much scent as I possibly can down for me.
Well, like you said earlier, you know, ticks are super bad this time
Oh,
of year.
Yeah.
We're actually working on something. We haven't got it yet. It's still in the works, but it's going to be a repellent of, you know, chiggers, ticks, and mosquitoes. But like you said, you want to emphasize the scent control as you walk in to check your cameras.
That's right.
And with these repellents, you know, there's hardly any that is scent-free. So,
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, so we're trying to work on that
If
right
you can
now.
figure out to get away of mosquitoes around from me, boy, you'd be a hero in early deer
We're
season.
working on it right now.
Because I'll tell you what, I can't tell you times.
Yeah.
You know, you're doing all this, you're
Yeah.
trying your best not to get around, and you know they've got some systems out now that you know supposed to, and they do work, keep it away. But I just can't get over it. If I can smell it, they say it don't bother the deer. I don't know. I just don't trust it. You know.
No.
Right.
You know, I just usually deal with the mosquitoes, and then they
Yeah,
aggravate the fire out in the early season. So, now, what did y'all come out with first? Was it the cover scents or the shampoo, or what was first?
It was actually our soap.
Okay.
This is a bar of our unscented soap here. But we actually come up figuring out how to make soap.
Okay.
And our very first scent was fresh dirt.
Okay.
He went out, what, 3 days after we made our first batch?
After the first batch went out, you know,
How big
it
was
was
it?
a 143-inch deer in Ohio.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I hadn't been hunting 7 hours.
Wow.
You know,
That's
on
a
the
quality
property.
animal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really surprised. You know, come in. I wouldn't say he was downwind, but the wind was swirling. I was
Right.
in a big funnel, and it just worked out. It was awesome.
And it's got to be great satisfaction when all these
Yeah.
people start sending these pictures. You
Oh,
know, it's
it
just
is.
got to be
Tremendous.
It just really tells you that you're doing something right.
Yeah. To me, truthfully, you know, I love to hunt, but I'm a meat hunter. I've never got a big buck. It really don't bother me too much. You know, one of these days, yeah, I'd like to put one on the wall, but a couple does, I'm happy.
Right.
You know, but bringing in deer in, like people, had a guy in Oklahoma send us a picture of deer. He messaged me and said, my stuff came in today, I appreciate it, but I'm kind of a skeptic of it. And I said, well, you know, a lot of people are. He didn't use any of it, but he got winded a couple weeks before that. And he goes, I'm gonna go out as soon as I get home. He went out 15 yards after about 20 minutes in the woods. He took a nice buck with a kicker.
Yeah,
off
that's
the back. I mean,
He
you
wasn't
know,
a skeptic no more, was he?
no, that's a
He's an avid customer now.
yeah.
Right. That's what you want,
that's
you
a
know.
believer.
Word of
Then-
mouth and believers goes a long way, you know. you see all these national chains, they're pushing these products, and they're spending millions and millions and millions of dollars on advertising and marketing for these products. And they're usually owned by a big conglomerate of company that owns several different outdoor companies. And they really have the market on it. But for new guys like you all breaking in the scene, the best way you can get is, social media and, all the little Facebook, whitetail hunters out there, Kentucky whitetail hunters and Kentucky turkey hunters, and, all those little ones is great because, I see y'all post on there and I see other guys commenting all the time, can't wait for deer season to bite. Well, don't wait till deer season.
Yeah.
Right. Use use it now, like you said, cameras, checking cameras, putting out food plots. That's the key right there.
Yeah. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more about these scents. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to Wild Kentuckiana Live. I'm your host, Tom Chamberlain. With me, I've got Loyd Michael here from L&M Custom Scents. Now, y'all been in business 3 years, retail business 3 years.
Right.
You've been making it probably 4.5, somewhere in that ballpark there. Had a lot of success so far with it. Problem is, not a lot of people know about it.
Right.
So that's what we're here tonight, folks, is to get you to understand that, we really, really like to support Kentucky-based companies. And these big companies that have this product, they don't need any more money. They're good. They got plenty right now.
Yeah.
Let's start helping the small guy out that's really busting his hind end to put a good product together for us and be able to use it. And don't wait till deer season. Use it now when you're doing everything you're doing, in the woods. Now, your soap here, you were telling me during the commercial that if you're fishing, it will get everything off your hands.
Yeah.
It's actually got a compound in it that the scent neutralizer. So if you go fishing, or anything, work in the garden, ride four-wheelers, work on your truck, four-wheeler, anything like that, you just use the soap and man, it
It's
works.
gone.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Will it get skipjack off my hand? That's the nastiest fish in the world. Boy, if you can get a skipjack scent off your hand, it's going to work miracles.
You'll get catfish off. So
Well, that's
it's been
pretty
tested
bad
on
too.
there, so
So you wash your hands, you can't smell the catfish no more?
It's,
I was telling you, in July we're heading down to Key West doing some lemon shark fishing. So with Dexter Outdoors and Dexter Knife Company, I'm going to take a bar of that down with us
definitely.
and put it on that boat and let those guys
They'll
on
go
that charter
crazy.
boat.
yes. Well,
Because you catch a few fish, you don't want to sit around another 8 hours smelling like,
I mean, you gotta eat. You gotta eat sometime,
Right.
You
You
go
don't want-
eat.
Exactly. So, we'll be able to try that out and see how it works. Now, coming on the show tonight, I really appreciate it. I know y'all had a long drive up here.
Oh, that's-
Let's get out to the folks at home. Where can they, first of all, let's go over some prices and some, your cover scents. What different varieties do you have and flavors? I call them flavors.
we try and keep it pretty basic. We don't try and do stuff that's not in this area.
Right.
We got fresh dirt.
Okay. Everybody's got fresh dirt
Everybody's
across
got
the country.
dirt. We got cedar, pine tree, apple, apple and acorn, vanilla. It actually surprised me. Guy said, "Do y'all make vanilla?" Like, no, we could probably try it. Messaged me back, said, "Hey, go ahead and try it. I'll buy it off of you." Even though,
Yeah.
I kind of leery because it hadn't been tested. He messaged me back, said, "This is the best stuff I've ever used," and it actually has become a pretty good seller for us.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they was actually bear hunting, wasn't
Yeah.
they? They was actually using it to bear hunt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They use the apple and bear a lot to bear hunt with.
Right. You got to be careful of state regulations on what you use in Kentucky for that. So I hope they wouldn't do it here in Kentucky
No,
trying to do it.
It's actually in Vermont.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, those scents are great for around here, especially the apple and acorn. What's your number one seller?
Fresh dirt.
The fresh dirt?
And then it's a tie between cedar and apple and acorn.
And the fresh dirt's probably my go-to because I don't care where you're at, you can always scrounge up some dirt and it'll smell the same,
Yeah.
Now, let's go over some prices over those cover scents. What are the prices on those?
Our soap runs $4.50 a bar. It's a 4-ounce bar. It's same thing you buy in a store.
Okay.
Well, actually half ounce bigger because I think most of them is 3.5 ounce.
Okay.
These are 4-ounce bars. We got 8-ounce bottles of cover scent spray.
Okay.
Those are $6 a bottle.
Okay.
Right now, they sent us the wrong bottles for laundry detergent.
Okay.
I'm selling these for $4.25, and that's including shipping, everything.
Are all these prices including shipping?
No.
Okay.
On our website, it's got our shipping prices on there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Our shampoo's $5 a bottle, 8-ounce bottle, and our scent eliminator's actually $4.50 a bottle.
Now, can you use a scent eliminator and then use the cover scent on top of it?
That's what most people try and
Okay.
do.
Oh, yeah.
They'll spray their underclothes, lighter clothes with the scent eliminator, and then use the cover spray as on their outer
Now,
garments.
you're down, what county are you from?
Greenup County.
Okay. Now, we're down that area. Does it have it in your retail stores? You got some archery shops that carry it or some sporting good stores?
Yeah, we got Little Sandy Archery. We'll be carrying it. Keys Farm Service
Okay.
in Grayson. JR's Archery in Hecla, Ohio, just outside Coal Grove. And then Maynard's Hardware
Okay.
in Loyd.
Okay. And they can also, folks can go to your website
Yes.
and purchase it right off your website. Make sure you go like them on Facebook, L&M Custom Scents. Make sure you go ahead and get it in early because they're going after this show here, they're going to blow up. So if you want your order, you better get it in quick because when you start seeing on the Pursuit channel for Lights Out using it, they're going to be, they have full-time jobs and they're probably going to have to quit by the time we're done with them.
That'd be fine with us.
Yeah, I bet it would be. Now, what do y'all actually do for a living?
I'm a shift supervisor for the Corps of Engineers.
Okay.
I'm work the locks and dams.
Okay. And what do you do?
I'm an electrician.
Electrician. So they got it all the way covered. So they both have really good jobs, and they're good tradesmen here. So you took some of your expertise and put into a product here, and I wish you all the best. And we're going to promote you, and we'll go to the end of the earth promoting it, and hopefully neither one of y'all have a job next year there.
Well, that'd be all right.
I'm hoping to.
You can just hunt for a living and make
Yeah.
Oh,
sense.
man, that'd be awesome.
Wouldn't that be a good deal?
Yeah.
It would be. Hey, folks, stay tuned when we come back. I've got the bearded wonder, Dave Skinner, coming up from Whitetail Properties. He's going to blow your mind with some of these deals he's got, so stay tuned. Hey folks, welcome back to Wild Kentuckiana Live. I'm your host, Tom Chamberlain. Now I got a really good guest here, Dave, with Whitetail Properties Real Estate. Dave, thanks for coming on tonight,
Hey,
man.
Tom, thanks for having me, buddy.
I know you had to drive up here. He's out of Warren County, Bowling Green area, so you had a little drive up here tonight. Tell us a little bit about everybody sees the symbol, the real estate symbol everywhere, and we know y'all deal in land.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between a real estate agent and what you all do.
Yeah.
Tell me what's different. What do you do that a realtor does not do?
So let me clear this up first. Whitetail Properties is a real estate company, meaning that we help sellers sell their property. We help
Right.
buyers buy a property.
Correct.
We don't lease. We don't do leases. Sometimes wish I did because we get a lot of people asking
A lot of requests
about that.
in there,
But we don't. We sell property, and the big thing, I guess, the difference we call ourselves land specialists because that's what we do. I always kind of joke around with my buddies that sell residential real estate. I don't do 3-bedroom, 2 baths on a corner lot.
Right.
I don't drive a Prius to work. I wear boots,
Right.
blue jeans. I drive a 4-wheel drive truck and I haul a UTV, a John
Right.
Deere Gator everywhere I go. And I
Right.
work in the woods. That is my office. I get chills even thinking about my job.
It's
'cause
not
I love
a
it so
bad
much.
job.
It's a pretty darn good. It's a good gig, no doubt. But the thing, when I say we specialize in land, that is what we do. We
Right.
don't do anything else. We don't do commercial real estate. I guess it's kind of like if you had a heart condition, would you go to your family doctor? You'd
Right.
want to go to a
Cardiologist.
Exactly. It's the exact same thing. When I go meet with a seller, for instance, usually I've prepared myself. I'm very familiar with what land is selling for in the area. I want to go and tour that property. I want to see as much of it as I humanly can, and I want to get to learn it. I want to know what kind of history it's had on the property as far as hunting history. Has he killed any big bucks? Is he picking up any sheds? What are the neighbors like? That kind of thing. I want to learn that property as good as I would one that I was hunting
Yeah,
on my
because
own.
your clients are all mostly hunters.
For the most part, they are, yes.
And are most of your land specialist hunters also?
all of our lands. You don't get a job at Whitetail Properties unless you're die hard.
And that's what's great about it, because you're out there looking for the same thing I'm going to be looking for.
Exactly.
So that cuts down a lot of legwork as a buyer that I don't have to do. I can come to you, Dave. I need 150 acres. Find me 150 acres. And it's going to be good property.
Yeah.
And you've already looked at it. You've worked it. You know what it is. You've seen trails, you've seen old rubs, you've seen scrape lines, you've seen it all already.
Yeah, landowners a lot of times are, because I'll tell them, hey, did you see that giant rub on that cedar tree over by? No, where? And they'll, that I know the property better than they do, a lot of times in the end, so.
And that's the perfect way to do it, because y'all are teaming up somebody that wants to buy property to hunt, and then somebody that already has a really nice piece of property they're trying to sell.
Exactly. That's
so
right. Yep.
it's a match made in heaven for everybody.
Yeah. And you know what's, a lot of people think, well, Whitetail Properties, they're specialists, so you're going to have to pay more for a farm you buy through Whitetail Properties. Absolutely not the case, because the market
fair
bears
market
the
value.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
We price it. We try to price properties what the market will bear. We're very good at marketing the property, but you're not going to pay any more through us than you are, the local Coldwell Banker or Remax or
right.
whoever.
And it's just thing. Is it the same process when you buy property that you would be if you buy your house? You put an offer in.
That's exactly right.
It may be less than asking price, and you bicker back and forth until you get to. Now I'm assuming you're all realtors, licensed realtors in the state of Kentucky.
Yes, sir. That's right. Now we're all over the country. We're in 23 different states, but all of our agents here in Kentucky, there's 11 or 12 of us, I think.
And y'all cover the whole state of Kentucky?
We've got some void over in eastern Kentucky. We don't have a lot of coverage over there, so if anybody out there is looking for a job, we're hiring in that eastern Kentucky area. But from about 75 west, we're pretty well covered. So.
And that eastern Kentucky's got a lot of nice property down there.
Oh, they do. They do.
A lot of nice deer down there.
Yes, they do. And it's funny. People kind of shy away from reclaimed ground, but those guys are killing some giants over there on that reclaimed stuff. So,
absolutely, they are.
Yeah.
Now, what made you want to take a job with Whitetail Properties? Just because your love of hunting and be able to have that office every day and not showing a house on a quarter-acre lot?
I've got a long sordid history. I was a police officer for a while, and when I left law enforcement, I had my own business. I punched my own time clock. The economy back in 2009, 2010 kind of ended that.
Sure.
And I had to take another job punching a time clock, and it was probably the hardest 3 years of my life, because I went from having all that freedom to 8 to 5, and it wasn't working. And Whitetail Properties come along and afforded me that freedom, to hunt, more, and to be with people that love
like-minded.
Exactly, man. For the most part, everybody I deal with are hunters. Not all of them. I don't want to scare off a buyer that just wants a piece of property.
Right. Some people just want it for
That's
gardening or just the serenity and peace.
We get those. We get those. But Kentucky getting as popular as it is in the hunting world, we're starting to get, it's just everybody wants property in Kentucky. So.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Now, we have a couple different pieces of property we want to talk about in particular that are. You're saying there's just top-notch properties.
Yeah, I've got one that I'm really excited about up in Breckenridge County.
Okay.
It's right, I think it's like 2 minutes from the driveway to the boat ramp there at Rough River Lake. It's 400 acres. It's got about 200 acres of timber on it. Hadn't been cut in years and years and years.
Really?
200 acres of pasture ground. Probably half of that could even be put in row crops. There's plenty of areas for food plots. But the guy's got some giant deer on it, some really good deer. I remember New Year's morning, I woke up to a text message from him of a 170 in the guy's backyard. I mean, just a stud of a buck.
No way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He had taken them out of his bedroom window of the deer in his backyard.
And at 400 acres, that has a lot of income potential on top of it.
It does. They've got I think it's a 1,700 square foot rental property there that they rent out on Verbo. I think it's $170 a night they rent it out. He told me back in early April that he already had it booked for 80 nights this year and expected to book it for more than 100 nights total this year. Guys coming, they're so close to Rough River,
right?
But it's secluded and it gives people a little privacy, and they can go enjoy the lake in the daytime. And not have to deal with.
And you may have bass fishermen that are fishing tournaments down there, staying there. You might have people for vacations, want to be on the lake.
They had folks there last year, took it for a week during Thanksgiving and spent their Thanksgiving there, and they never even left the property. They just stayed right there, spent all week. And
then it has a house on it also, right?
Yeah, it's a really neat house. It's somewhere around 5,000 square foot. It's an old tobacco barn that they turned into a house. So it's still got all those raw timbers inside.
Got a lot of history history
really
in that thing.
neat.
Then.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Really
That's great.
is.
And
Yeah.
you have another piece of property in Logan County, Kentucky.
217 acres.
Mm-hmm.
What's really cool about it, it's mostly wood. It's got some food plots and stuff on it. The guy's been working on it for about 5 years to get it where it's at. It's grown some
So he's
great
managed
deer.
it properly.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
That
it's got
helps.
some big deer on it too. Really good deer. Had a couple studs this past season, and I think one of those survived the hunt. But what's cool about it is it sits on about a 60-acre lake, and you get access to that big lake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so all the landowners around share that big lake. And I've seen ducks, geese, bald eagles on it,
Really?
everything. And you get deer and turkey as well.
What's really cool is that, he's been managing for 5 years. If you bought to hunt, you're going to do the exact same thing. So you're already 5 years
That's exactly
into the
right.
game.
You're 5 years. And what's crazy is it's not because they haven't had any opportunities. They've been waiting for that mega giant to come
Yeah.
by. They've killed one buck on it in that amount of time, 145-inch deer.
Which is no slouch.
No slouch. Great deer, but they're trying to kill 160s and 170s.
Right.
And they're getting them. They're there now. And I'm like, why do you want to sell it now? It doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. But he's going to buy something closer to his home. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more with Dave here at Whitetail Properties Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to Kentuckiana Live. I'm your host, Tom Chamber. Before we went to break, we were talking about a couple properties he had, one in Breckenridge County and one in Logan County, Kentucky. Now, if somebody wants to go look at these properties, they go to a website. What website do they go to check these properties out?
Just go to whitetailproperties.com,
Mm-hmm.
and when you get to the homepage there's a map of the United States, and just click on Kentucky. Don't get lost. I get on there and dream.
Right. You'd be in Iowa and
that's
Kansas
exactly
and everywhere
right, yeah.
else, right?
Yeah, click on Kentucky, and you can search. You can do really detailed search. One of the really cool things about the site, we've got a new app, My Whitetail Properties app, that you can download to your phone and put in the search parameters, and it'll give you a notification as soon as something listed.
That's really
may
cool.
suit. So you immediately just give me a call. Call me.
Yeah.
Yeah, call me. But yeah, so that's really, really neat, and it kind of takes a little bit of the workload off me.
Here's one of the deer. Tell me about this deer right here.
That's a 2-year-old picture now. So that deer has already lost those antlers, grew another set, and lost those. So that's the buck I mentioned before the break that he had in daylight in his backyard this year, and he was quite a bit bigger than that, and just a giant deer. He's actually got that antler, the right one, he found out in the pasture.
Really?
Yep, found it last.
Look at
last
the mass
spring.
all the way out.
Yeah, he's a giant, man.
He is.
He's in the 60s pretty easy right there in
Yeah.
that picture, I think. And I think he's probably a 5-year-old deer, 4 years old in that picture, 5-year-old this year. The farm's just growing some mega giants.
And folks, if you're in the market for a nice piece of property, whether it be these two or maybe even a smaller tract that's a little more affordable, make sure you go check them out on their website and hit Dave up. He'll be glad to drive anywhere in the state of Kentucky to show you a piece of property.
Oh, yeah.
And take good care of you. And like I said, they're no different than if you were calling Remax or Caldwell Banker or anybody else. It's the same.
Well, we're the same in the fact that that's our profession, real
Right,
estate. We're
but you're going the
different in a
extra
lot of ways.
mile as far
Yeah.
as prepping that land and making sure it lands right.
Yeah.
Now, off the property topic, you like to hunt. You're a redneck too.
Oh my gosh, dude. My wife, if she had things to do over, and she loves me, I know, but if she had things to do over, I know she would have married some city slicker that didn't know a thing about guns or.
Well, I
anything,
seen.
so.
I think I made a couple posts to your Facebook on your. Was it your anniversary just recently passed?
Yeah.
And you took her to a nice place.
I did, man. Beautiful place.
But you were
yes.
turkey hunting.
Yeah, I had a buddy, and I don't know who it was. Somebody commented on that on Facebook and said, "I can't believe you take your wife off on an anniversary trip and turkey hunt. What's wrong with you?" I said, "What's wrong with me? Don't be jealous." you
Right,
know?
absolutely.
It took me 20 years to get her trained like
Right.
that.
If
you know?
she can, if she's okay with it, why not?
That's exactly right. So our deal was, I got invited on this turkey hunt after we had this trip booked, and I kind of, as we were packing to leave, I said, "Hey," I said, "I've been invited to turkey hunt." I said, "I won't hunt like I normally do. I'll just go and hunt right off the roost. I'll be home by 8 o'clock. I'll be back." And she says, "As long as I get to sleep in, I don't care." So it was a pretty good situation.
So it worked out both ways then.
We fished the rest of the time.
Did
so,
you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We had a
Looked
good
at
time.
that place was beautiful.
Oh, it is. I wish I had their name. They're over in Russell County. It's Timmy Antle. I said I'd never forget his name because I had an arts antler. Timmy Antle. I know we didn't come here to, but they're the sweetest people, man. Just probably about your age, my age, a little bit older maybe. They got a young family and 4 cabins on a private lake. It's all catch and release, and we just wore them out. I mean, I was
Really?
catching bluegill like that for
No
2 straight
kidding.
days as fast as the hook hit. Oh yeah, it was a blast.
Just fun.
Yeah,
Just to
yeah.
get away and not hear no phones and no computers.
Well, I
and-
still had to work.
Right, absolutely.
I still had to work, so
that's great.
Had to return emails.
Now, you do a little bit of filming yourself in your own right.
Yeah.
Now, who you doing a little bit of work with?
You know, I've been attempting to film for Strut and Buck. It's some guys out of Arkansas. We've got some film crews all over the country, but I told you earlier, I filmed exclusively for about 5 years, and I give it up for a while, and that's when I started killing big deer, and then I started back filming, and it's been a little frustrating the last couple of years filming because I haven't killed a deer.
So you're ready to throw
so
the camera down again.
I'm just about ready to call it quits again. Start killing big deer again. Yeah.
Now, you got another venture you're into with, you said you just started with a really cool camera company.
Yeah.
And for the folks you don't know, I met Dave at the ATA this year.
Yep.
Had a private party at my restaurant and brought a bunch of people in and had a really good time.
We did. It was a blast.
We had a really good time, and Spartan Cameras was there. Got a chance to meet with them, and now you're with Spartan Cameras.
Well, it's just it's as much. It's just a little part-time gig.
Right.
I handle their social media.
Okay.
I love I'm a Facebooker, you know,
Right.
and I was already doing it, you know. So yeah, I'm taking care of social media for him. It's a great product. I believe in it. Been using them for years, and he's been after me, you know. And
Right.
finally, I said, "You pay me, I'll do it." So
Right.
that's where we ended.
You know, I looked at them, and you know, when you go to these ATA shows or any trade shows like this, there's 5 billion camera
Yeah.
companies there.
Oh man.
5 billion bow companies,
And I've
arrow
used them all.
companies.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know, I've had so many different cameras over the years, and they all work good to a certain point.
Yeah.
Then they go bad.
Yeah.
What's different than Spartan than the rest of them? When I looked at them, they look amazing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're really a cool camera and a cool concept.
So, you know, and I tell people this, and they're like, "Well, you work for the company." I've worked for the company for 2 weeks,
Right.
literally. Okay,
Right.
so, but I've used their products since 2008. They've rebranded, renamed themselves recently. If you're familiar with Scout Guard years ago, they were the first little small AA cameras, great products. But here about 3 years ago, they started going the Spartan direction. And I remember getting frustrated with them when I called because there was one of their cameras I really liked, and I said, "We're not making it anymore.
Right.
We got this new Spartan," and I was upset because I liked this other one.
Sure.
And they said, "Just try it. You know, if you don't like it, send them back. We'll
Right.
give your money back." And I'm still using those same 3 cameras. Been using them the entire time. I've never had one fail. I've got about 30 of them now. I've yet to have a failure. They're all
Really?
still working. That's the part that amazes me. I worked for another trail camera company before, and you know, I had failures. You know,
Yeah.
it was a great product, great company. I love all those folks there, but we had failures.
And
I
they're
haven't had one fail
man-made.
yet.
And they're man-made. It's going to
They're,
happen.
they're, you're going, and I know, and I hate to say that because people expect to never have one go bad. You're going to have it. They're Chinese-made cameras,
Well,
you
sure.
know, so they're going to go bad. But that is the thing that stuck out in my mind is the fact that when I put them out there, I know I'll go back and it's going to be working.
There's nothing worse than you know you got good deer in the area and you put a camera out, get the batteries, you check it, you test it, everything's good, you take a couple sample pictures, you're good, you got your card in, your card's cleared, you're ready to rock and roll.
Yes.
You put it together, you get the fire out of there. You come back, the camera's off.
I went to Kansas a couple years. I go to Kansas about every year, but a few years ago I went out and I had 7 or 8 cameras I had up here. It's during the rut, so I'm out there during the rut hunting. My cameras are up here, and I'm excited to get back. I had some big deer. I'm like, what survived, the first week of gun season? And I had like 7 cameras. I get back 3 of them aren't working. And I'm like, you've got to be joking me, man.
I know,
It's
I've
just
had
so
that. It's
disgusting.
so frustrating because, you
Yes.
know, our lease is it's an hour and a half from our house, so it's a pretty good run down there. So you're pumped up trying to get down there, and you see the camera that's not working.
Yeah.
And man, you're just like, wow, what did I do wrong? So you're thinking about yourself and trying to get it.
Exactly.
Folks, stay tuned next week. We're going to bring another exciting episode. I hope you enjoyed this week's, and we'll see you